Hey guys, I'm Dale LePage.
And I'm Tina Marie Billing.
Welcome to this episode of Pride TV. We've got a great show coming at you, so please stay tuned. Come in, sit back, relax. We've got your Pride TV. We're bringing you some Pride TV. We've got so much to share right here on Pride TV. We're bringing you your Pride TV.
And now, Pride TV with Dale LePage.
Welcome to our Companion Animal Rescue in Ashford, Connecticut. Our Companion Animal Rescue is a nonprofit organization that was founded in 2002 after receiving a gift of 43 acres of land in Ashford, Connecticut, for the purpose of building Connecticut's first animal sanctuary, rehabilitation, and adoption center. The sanction, the only one of its kind in New England, provides comforting, home-like, enriching environment for our community's most vulnerable animals, those who are older, traumatized, abused, or neglected. The sanctuary helps these animals by providing them a setting that is conducive to a long-term stay and provides a low-stress, comforting atmosphere that encourages healing and rehabilitation. Each animal receives a medical and behavioral treatment plan that is modified weekly based on the animal's specific needs. For more information on our Companion Animal Rescue, call 860-242-9999 or check out their website at www.ourcompanions.org, as well as their Facebook page.
Pride TV is presented by Fallon Health and sponsored by Remax Vision, Bay State Savings Bank, Safe Homes, Paul Chasen Interior Design, Nuovo Restaurant, Dr. Frank P. Fetchner Plastic Surgery, Art Reach, Roots and Press Cafe and Bookstore, Heard Strategy and Storytelling, and Castanetti Realty Group.
Hey guys, we are back and we are here with our guests,
Brett Jacob
and
Trish Phelan.
Now they are part of Rhode Island Pride. Brett, who has his beautiful sash on, Mr. Gay Rhode Island 2019, and you are Ms. Rhode Island 2019, correct?
Ms. Lesbian Rhode Island.
Ms. Lesbian Rhode Island, that's right. Thank you for correcting me because I want that to be right. All right. So you've got some exciting things coming up. That's why I really wanted you to be on this show today. First of all, I was stalking Rhode Island Pride on Facebook and came to your event, which is coming up, which I think is brilliant, and I wanted to talk about your LGBTQ job fair, right?
Sure.
How did that come up, first of all?
So first, I want to say that it was not an event that was made without help. Have
true.
had incredible partners through the Rhode Island Pride Board. In particular, Nate Banks has been an incredible support
Thanks,
for
Nate.
me, and also TGI Network stepping up to help with some trans-inclusive training for the employers that will participate. And really, anybody that has listened and given me feedback on this event has really been instrumental in making this happen.
So have they had this before?
This is Rhode Island's first LGBTQIA+ job fair.
That's fantastic. That is fantastic. Now, can you tell us some of the vendors that might be getting involved with the job fair?
Sure. So right now we're sitting at 20 employers that are participating, and we've got a range of employers from small nonprofits to large companies in finance, in manufacturing, in higher education. So we've got Citizens Bank has signed up to be a great partner. We've got Life Inc., Planned Parenthood of Southern New England, and so many others that have joined in to participate.
I think this is fantastic, and you're right. It takes a village. It really does. Nothing like this. This show doesn't just happen with just the two of us. There's so many people behind the scenes. It's all about that support you get from your community. So that's brilliant, and thank you for mentioning that, because more people need to know it doesn't just happen. There's a ton of people behind everything. Now, when is it going to be?
It's on March 25th, a Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., and it's going to be at the Cambridge Innovation Center, which is the new innovation hub in Providence's downtown jewelry district.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
It's a beautiful building.
I'm sure it is. Now, you have something coming up too that you would like to talk about in.
Yeah, so Pride has our Pride reveal party, formerly known as our theme release, but we will also be announcing not only the Rhode Island Pride theme for 2020, but also who the headliners will be and who our main stage performers will be, which is usually who we select from our local talent.
Now, let me tell you, I'm constantly so blown away by Rhode Island Pride. It is, first of all, it's unlike anything around. Honestly, it's huge.
Yes,
and for those of you out there who don't know how epic Rhode Island Pride is, you've got to go and see it and be a part of it and experience it. It is just mind-blowing, the things that you guys do. First of all, the lighted parade.
So our illuminated night parade, which will be June 20th this year, is one of the top 7 in the world, actually.
Oh my God, bravo.
And Providence Business News just ranked places by attendance, and that puts us up there with like Roger Williams Zoo and stuff like that, which are open year round. And we ranked number 10 in the entire state for attendance. We had about 125,000 people last year, give or take, and we're looking at the upwards of 150,000 or so this year.
Oh my God, that's
so
incredible.
it's a massive event. Our theme release is March 6th at 6 o'clock at the Graduate Hotel. And they've been a huge sponsor for us this year and last year as well. So they'll be also hosting our drag brunch. So
one of the things that I wanted to let our viewers in on is this is so funny. You did not come here today to be on television.
I was not planning on being on TV.
You just walked in the door because you were the chauffeur for some other guests that are coming up on another.
Yes, my partner's in your next segment, as is my best friend. So I happened to drive them here today.
And you walked in the door, and you said, "Oh, I'm
Miss Lesbian,"
and I'm like, "You're on TV." And you are such a trooper because you're like, "Okay, sure." So I thank you for that.
I have to say, in our roles, we do get used to just being shoved a microphone and saying, "Here, talk about Pride."
Right.
So, and that's our favorite thing to do. I said, "I'm not really sure I know how to talk about anything but Pride anymore." And we are also, if anybody, I don't know if anybody attended last year, but we had a very large LGBTQ art festival or art gallery for the entire month of June. And we are in search of artists right now who are interested in submitting their work.
Where was that displayed?
Last year we actually had a location that was donated to us for the month, as well as several locations throughout the city. So it was like Sprout, Marriott Hotel, Providence City Hall, and then our own location. And so the entire month of June we had exclusively LGBTQ artwork up for the entire month of June.
Absolutely brilliant.
So we're attempting to do that again this year. So right now we're looking to collect artwork.
Call for artists.
Yeah. So the curator is looking for artists. We're taking submissions now. The application should be live soon if it's not live already on our website.
Is it Pride?
PrideRI.org.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, any kind, mixed media, sculptures. I mean, we had photography, we had everything last year, and it was really amazing. We had over 250 LGBTQ artists submit art. So
I think Pride TV needs to come down to Rhode Island and film like for a day.
all
these
great
incredible.
So,
that would probably be a few shows because there's so much going on.
Yeah. So last year it ran for an entire month, and what we did was just a gallery opening night for the main location, and then on a separate weekend we did a tour. So there was a shuttle that went around and toured people from each gallery too.
Now, I've been a judge for many kind of like Pride pageants and things like that, and I'm always very curious. Now, let's just I'll ask you first. First of all, is there a talent division?
There is. So,
what was your talent?
I read a monologue on stage.
Like you were an actor. You were just.
Well, it wasn't quite acting. It was more of more slam poetry, I suppose.
Oh, okay. So you're a poet.
Like
okay.
spoken word.
Spoken word.
Spoken word.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. It was really good.
And how about yourself?
I ballroom danced, and it was awful.
It was not awful. It was not
Everybody
awful.
else says it was great.
It was really
I
great.
was petrified.
Okay.
Literally, I am not a performer. I don't like. I can speak on stage, but I'm not a performer. It was the most terrifying experience of my life.
Now, where did this take place? What venue?
It was at the Coliseum last year. This year, the Graduate Hotel is hosting our pageant on
April 5th.
April 5th.
April
I can
5th
remember
at
the date,
the very top floor of the Graduate in the big ballroom. So it's going to be a fully accessible space,
Nice.
which is something new
one of
for
the
the
reasons we
pageant
changed
this
the
year.
venue.
Who's
We're
the
really
head
excited
of the pageant? Who's the head of that?
Joe Lazzarini.
Joe Lazzarini. All right, Joe, I want to be a judge. All right, letting you know now.
Joe
here first.
Lazzarini. You hear it right here. Dale LePage wants to be a judge.
I have judged before, and it was so much fun. You guys are. It was the most honestly, and not any disrespect to any other organization I've been a judge for, but this was the most organized thing I have ever been a part of. It was just such an even flow all the way around. Let's get back to, I've never seen anyone do ballroom dancing as a talent. So let me just say.
I'm not a ballroom dancer, actually.
But bravo to you, because that's fantastic.
Yeah. I learned my routine in about like the month or two beforehand. I had just been taking some beginner classes for fun. My partner likes to ballroom dance.
Okay.
And we were actually just friends at the time, and a friend of ours is owns a studio and was like, oh, like come learn. And I was like, sure, my friends are doing it. I'll go a couple nights a week. And then I had to come up with a talent for the pageant. And I went through all list of things, and I go, I mean, I guess I could learn a routine. Maybe I'll ballroom dance. And so I ballroom, because like I said, I'm not a performer, and so the talent portion for me was, I think, the most difficult.
Have you done slam poetry before?
No, that was the first time. In fact,
Was that-
leading up to that, I thought that, well, I'm somewhat talented in math, so maybe I'll solve a complicated equation on stage. That was the extent of my talent, and that didn't end up happening.
I love that. With like a dry erase board.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
I was going to lip sync, but I thought that was very cliche. I was like, I can't.
Well, I have never seen anybody do ballroom dancing before, so bravo for
Well,
that.
that's what I said. I was like, I've been to all these. I don't think I've ever seen it. I've seen people dance, but I don't think anybody's seen do ballroom. I was like, okay, so let me like.
All right, so we've got to end this segment because it's too much fun.
Too long.
And I want to just quickly say to you, what is the name of your event? What's the date?
Sure. It's Work with Pride, LGBTQIA plus job fair, and it's on March 25th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Cambridge Innovation Center in Providence.
All right, thank you so much. We will be back with more right after this.
Hey, it's me, Amy T, with another segment of Experimental Comedy Therapy. I hope everybody is super excited. The days are getting longer, and we're in the month of spring. Today, I wanted to showcase an up-and-coming, fantastic comic, Cher Lynn. Thank you so much for being. I'm so happy that you're here. Tonight, we're doing a sold-out show for Fugitive Productions at the 29 Restaurant in Sudbury. Had you ever been to Sudbury?
No, but it's very posh. I noticed.
So you've been doing comedy for 4 years, and clearly.
I was seeing someone I really liked who had super bad breath, and I didn't know how to say it, and it was like awkward, and he asked one day, and so I just started putting like 2 Altoids in my mouth, hoping like one made its way into his mouth. Dead Crow was awesome because it was cool being in the South, a totally different crowd, you know, and like
not my crowd, as you can imagine. Like I'm positive I'm not welcome back at a NASCAR bar in North Carolina.
It was a little weird, like being there. It's a different world.
It's a different world,
and it kind of builds you up because it's a little bit more rowdy.
You're a sober comic.
I am sober, yeah.
And
open sober comic. Sober comic. I recently celebrated over 5 years of sobriety, which is a big milestone. Always escape it. Like my escape would be have a shot, have a drink, you know, smoke weed, like whatever it was, you know. But I was hiding. I'm not judging anyone else. Just for myself, I was hiding behind what I was, you know.
The underlying issue. It wasn't alcohol that wasn't my issue. It was all the stuff that was in the basement
that I wasn't dealing with.
Right.
Exactly. And the other thing too is it's like, you know, for me, I would think I would be more fun when I was drinking. I would be like more likable when I was drinking. But the reality is it like really wasn't the best version of me. The most awkward things about being sober and the most difficult things about being sober is this thing called sober sex. I don't know if any of you have ever had it.
Like, and then when I got sober, that was the scariest thing for me, was to have like intimacy sober, like
Talking, eye contact.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, just ride the awkward out. Just ride the awkward out if you're going through this, because honestly.
Thank you so much for being with me. I'm super excited to work with you tonight. And again, I appreciate you for being here. And until next time, everybody, please make sure you're responsible for the energy you bring into this world and practice compassion and tolerance. Take care, everyone.
Hey guys, we are back now, and our guests that are with us right now are
Ashley Delgado with Options Magazine.
and
Tina Blanky, Vice President of Community Outreach with Rhode Island Pride.
all right. I love that you both named Tina Marie. First of all, I love that. Let's just start out by saying that Ashley has been here a couple of times, and she was here one of the times because she was our 2018 Person of the Year for Rhode Island. So bravo, baby. Because you are just, I can't even tell you how much you mean to the community, and everybody feels the same way. I know they do. And so we're here to talk about Options Magazine, because you wrote. Did you write the foreword in this? What did you write?
Yeah, the board note.
Okay. Options Magazine. What is it about? How did it start? What's its mission?
Yeah, so Options started in about 1982, so we're coming up on almost 40 years of print, which is pretty awesome. Options really just covers all of the amazing things happening in the Rhode Island queer community. If you think about any of the historic stuff that's gone on, whether it's the conversion therapy ban or the historic Rhode Island Pride Parade, we have the privilege of covering all of that information and sharing it with other people.
Now, go ahead. No, please.
How have you seen the magazine change?
Yeah, I mean, print magazine, I think in general, is a little difficult right now. So what's changing for us is that we're trying to have a more online platform. We really just want to make the magazine as accessible as possible and just offer all of this information, the resources, the stories, as best as we can to everybody.
Now, is the magazine free?
It is 100% free, yes.
Sponsor driven?
Yeah, so donations definitely help. We have if we can get a sponsorship for the magazine, it makes a huge difference for us, and that's something that we've been running into a little bit of trouble with, is just financial security. But outside of that, the magazine, it's just doing a lot of great work right now.
I love that. If I recall correctly, and please forgive me if I'm wrong. I'm often wrong. It's been around for 40 years, but there was a time when did it recently get revamped or something, or like renewed?
Yeah,
or
you're right. It did have to stop for a little while, again due to financial struggle.
Right.
But it's basically been picked up every so often, and you just get a new set of board members that are ready to see the mission move forward, and that's kind of what keeps bringing it back.
Now this is the spring. How many times a year does it come out?
So we're doing 6 copies a year.
6 copies a year. Now this is the spring issue?
The February-March issue.
February-March. Do you have a favorite article in there so far?
Oh man, wow. Honestly,
really?
this is probably one of my favorite issues that we've printed so far. It was love inspired because February reminds us of love. But
ooh, yes.
In terms of our community, we think about love is just every bit of this community, whether it's love for yourself, love for other people. And so we really kind of ran with that theme, and so you'll see it throughout each of the stories that love really played a role in the stories we're trying to tell.
I love that. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Now this must be a huge team effort.
It sure is, yeah. I mean, we have the most dedicated editor, which makes a huge difference. And we have basically all volunteers keeping this afloat. Like, we just have people donating their time, their energy, their money, and that's really what's making a difference.
Now, a lot of great photos in here. Do you have a specific photographer who works with you or for you? Or is it a bunch of different people who like, say, let me help you? Or?
Yeah, I'm glad that you asked. We definitely have a lot of people who submit, but Jen Bonin consistently is the person.
That's where I was hoping you were going, because we love Jen.
She actually shot the cover, and
she did.
Yeah, we're just thrilled to be able to work with her, because she's out there. She's really making sure to document all of the great things happening in Rhode Island.
And in Worcester.
And in Worcester,
yes. And Boston, because she is at every event I go to.
She's there.
She's there.
Yeah.
I just went to a wedding of Lady Sabrina, and she was the wedding photographer.
Absolutely.
And that was in Rhode Island, a really beautiful space on the waterfront. It was a great time. And let's talk now about Rhode Island Pride. How long have you been a part of Rhode Island Pride?
Well, we're all volunteers, so I've been a volunteer there. I guess this is my 4th year. This will be my 3rd year on the board and my 1st year as Vice President of Community Outreach.
What does community outreach mean? Is that like, please give us money?
Oh, always, of course. We're a non-for-profit. So this is a relatively new position that we started last year, but it was right before Pride season, so we couldn't really get kind of our hooks into it. So this year we're coming in with a plan. And a huge part of that plan is our community center that we're going to be opening up this year.
Oh my God, that is
Finally,
amazing.
yeah, 7 years in the making. Finally,
do you already
opening up
have the
community
building? Have you already purchased the building?
We are working on that, and we're finalizing all those touches, but we're hoping to close in on the building before Pride. It won't be shared before Pride because we'll be a little bit busy.
Right.
But come around fall time is when we really want to do an open house and make a big splash and roll it out. So part of that comes with all of the planning that goes with it. We want to make sure that, you know, we've got resources in place for the resource center part of it. We want to make sure that we have comfortable, safe spaces for everyone, that we have our gender neutral bathrooms, and we have programming in place. And so those are the things that I'm working on right now to get this up and rolling, so when we finally open our doors, we can be all inclusive and open for everyone.
And how big a space is it? Like
right now that we're looking at is around 5,000 square feet or something, and so we're looking at space for offices. Hopefully we can have space for options would be a great addition. The bathrooms are a part of it, you know, offices for our executive members, boardrooms that we can meet in, and then a huge entertainment space so that we can do some of the fun things that we'd like to do outside of bars and clubs. I mean, that's a huge part of our culture and a huge part of who we are, is those safe spaces within the community. But we're also looking at doing Pride 365, which means we want to have people who come in and feel safe outside of bars and clubs, because maybe they're not drinking anymore or they're not part of that nightlife scene, and they want to do something that's more low-key on the weekends or during the days during the week, where they can, you know, look for jobs or borrow interview clothes from us,
wow,
or
that's fantastic.
Learn how to cook for themselves, because maybe their home life and their community wasn't wasn't helpful for them there. So this is something where we can grow as a family together.
This is something I find that every city needs one, if not more, community centers like this.
Right.
I can only speak for myself, being a 60-year-old gay man who really doesn't go out to clubs anymore. I don't really drink. I go to more of the like fundraisers and things like that. But a community center is something I think is so important, because there's a lot of people who aren't old enough to get into bars yet, who want a place to go or to see a show or to put on a show. Or have an event space or an art gallery space, something to express themselves. And so much of our culture, we're going to be doing a special about alcohol in the LGBTQ community later this year on Pride TV. Surprised I didn't tell you. I didn't tell you yet.
I'm always last to know.
Now you know.
I'm always thinking like this, but I think it's so warranted, and bravo to you guys for doing it. I know nothing's really set in stone and signed yet, so I hope I'm not jinxing anything, but that is so needed in so many different communities.
Oh, absolutely.
Bravo.
And we're looking at other communities who are doing it as well. There are well-established Pride similar centers across the U.S., and so we're also going to look at them too and see what they're doing well.
And what kind of services will you offer there?
We're still gathering information right now. We'd really just need the money to open this center, so that's what we're focusing on.
So while we've got you before the end of this segment, one more time, Options Magazine can be found where on the web?
So Options RI, or we have a Facebook page and an Instagram.
Okay, and Rhode Island Pride, if somebody wants to find out what's going on, or perhaps even send a little moolah, cashola your way?
Oh, always. PrideRI.org on the web, and then also on Facebook, and we're all over social media.
All right, thank you. It has been an absolute pleasure. We will be back with more right after this.
Hi everyone, it's me, Miss Lady Sabrina, and I'm here, actually, today we're not going to do a letter. Today we're going to talk about a serious topic of like depression and anxiety. I mean, a lot of us feel it on a variety of different levels. So I'm only going to describe it from my perspective, because I do have moments, actually one recently, and I want to describe a little bit about it and maybe some of the tools that I use. So if that's helpful. First, let's kind of describe what it feels like. It feels thick and suffocating, and every one of your insecurities is just bubbling right up to the surface, and you are raw emotionally to everything. And I think one of the things that, for me, I notice it because all I want to do is like sleep, and I don't want to interact with people, and I don't want to talk because I'm almost too exhausted to speak. It is a very uncomfortable feeling, and then when you put the anxiety on top of it, it's like everything sets you off. Everything makes you feel like you're going to explode. So one of the things, because I'm recently married, that I had to do, and that a lot of us should do, is like educate our friends and our partners to what we need. Because a lot of people initially want to come in and, ask you how you're doing and give you extra attention and, want to hold you and hug you and whatnot. But when you feel like all of your nerves are on fire and, and just the sound of someone talking to you is just, you have to educate them, because it's like, I had to talk to my husband, and we had to have a conversation about the fact that, I don't want to be alone. I don't want you to like leave, even though that's what you think I might be asking for, because, I'm so prickly. But the reality is and I also don't want you asking me like every 10 minutes, how are you feeling? Are you okay? What do you need? Because it's just like fingernails on a chalkboard. For me, what I need is, I need you to be in the room. I need you to just be there. I don't need you to ask me a million questions. I don't need you to check in with me, even though I understand why you're doing it. For me, it just makes me want to scream with frustration, but sitting in the room, not on top of me, like just sitting next to me, like watching TV or listening to music or whatnot, I know you're there if I need you. And that is comforting to me. And all I need you to do is just be present. I don't need you to do anything. I just need you to be there, present with me. And, and while I'm sitting there, I'm kind of working it out. And I know that I'm not alone, because there's someone here for me. And, and it really does kind of help bring me down. And when I'm in a place where I'm ready to talk, I can. I think the thing is that when you have the problems of depression and anxiety, it's really important that you kind of communicate with the people around you, your friends and whatnot, as to what you need, instead of making them guess, because they always guess, in a way that is thoughtful, but not helpful. So I don't know if that helped, but I hope it did. Keep the letters coming in, and I'll see you again next month with some more advice. I love you, Dale. Love and light, Lady Sabrina.
Thank you so much, my sweet friends. We have come to the end of another episode of Pride TV. Thanks for sticking with us and learning with us.
Yes.
We're going to end the show the way we always do by saying, please don't be afraid to shine your light.
Because you might be lighting the way for someone in need.
So until we see you next time, thanks for watching Pride TV.